Thank you everybody for being here. We're really excited that all of you are here to witness our ribbon cutting for the solar array. We're really proud that this day has come and that so many of you here have helped us get to this day. And first off today, I want to turn things over to Calvin Good, who is the president of the Mascoma Meadows Cooperative here. Go ahead, Calvin.
Thank you all for coming. Good afternoon and welcome to Mascoma Meadows. Here we are. It's finally happened. My name's Calvin Gowd. I'm the co-op's president. We've been a resident-owned community for 10 years now, and we've done some great things, and this is probably the biggest chore that we've taken on as a community. We need to thank some people, and our biggest thanks, outside of Krista and the Vermont Law School, this is like an amazing project for all of us. We got a flyer in the mail, and we answered it, sent it back, and here we are. So, I do need to thank all the organizations, but especially the Abundant Life for Church. I don't know if you all realize this or not, but they are a big part of our community. They donated the half an acre of land that you see the solar array on. And the day that they donated it to us, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house. And it was pretty amazing that the members of this church did that for us.
We agreed to pay for it and everything, and that was all going on.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, they said, we're going to do the Christian thing and just donate it.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Outside of that, I'm going to turn this over to Krista. And thank you all, everybody that has had anything to do with this, all the ROC members and the staff with Krista. It's been a wonderful project, and it's finally coming to an end, and we are going to reap some profits from it. So, great.
Thanks, Calvin.
No hugs.
So welcome again to this wonderful community, to this great community solar array, and to the Mascoma Cooperative. My name is Krista Shute. I'm the Energy Fellow for Climate Justice at the Vermont Law School's Institute for Energy and the Environment. And I work inside the Energy Clinic, leading student clinicians and projects. And we focus on low-income residential solar ownership. And we have a bunch of students here today from that, all 3 semesters that have worked on this project. And that piece, that low-income solar ownership piece, that's what this project is about. That's what this project has accomplished. It's a 100 kilowatt AC and 132 kilowatt DC solar array. It's got 384 panels. It produces 176,000 kilowatt hours of energy a year. And this community chose to retain those renewable energy certificates, and so they've lowered their carbon footprint. They're making an impact on the environment and bringing us a cleaner world. It's the equivalent of taking 18 cars off the road or 100,000 pounds of coal. So it makes a difference. But in addition to that, as part of their group net metering agreement that each of these participants signed, they're participating in energy efficiency training, and they're implementing cost savings measures. So today, after the ribbon cutting and the reception, we're actually having a sign up so that they can sign up with Liberty Utilities to get these cost saving measures implemented in December, which is probably news to everybody because we found out last night that they're going to be able to do that. So, but this project is the culmination of years of work that's striving to bring the environmental and economic benefits of solar to communities that can't otherwise leverage the existing 30% federal investment tax credits for solar. It started before 2016. It started with a partnership between Vermont Law School and the New Hampshire Sustainable Energy Association with Clay Mitchell and Kate Epson, and now, which is now Clean Energy New Hampshire under Madeline Minot. It started with the vision of Kevin Jones, who's the director of our Energy Institute, and his ability to get funding from Jane's Trust and the John Merck Fund to support the clinic's work on low-income solar ownership. So we really thank those funders, and one of them is here today, for their generous and continued support. Thank you very much. It started with Tara Reardon in ROC, New Hampshire, with a belief that there must be a way to leverage the cooperative model that is a foundation for empowering low and moderate income citizens. But realistically, this project isn't feasible until the passage of Senate Bill 129. SB 129 provided or requires that 15% of the Renewable Energy Fund be dedicated to solar projects that directly benefit low moderate income residents, specifically in manufactured housing communities like the one behind us and multifamily rentals. So when I started in August of 2017, the student clinicians that summer, Ian Oxenham and Aaron Kelly, had just proposed a model structure where the cooperative, the community cooperative, was the host and could directly benefit from the new grant funding. We knew we needed to work really fast, and so to get a project shovel ready for the grant. And so we looked to Tara and said, where should we go? And she said, Mascoma Meadows is the ROC community to start with. They're a wonderful community with a great board. And how right she was. I mean, you guys have been amazing. This board has been wonderful. They've asked questions, they've rallied the community, they've held special meetings, they've gone door to door. I mean, generally they've helped make this project happen. So I'd like to give a shout out to Calvin, who you met, their president, Lynette, the treasurer, Linda, the secretary, Al, who's the director of operations, and Nate, who I don't think is here today.
No, he's not.
So our goal was to maximize the benefit to the community. And we did that. We did that by leveraging the resources of the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund so that we could issue a request for proposal that limited investors to a single-digit return. And we were able to do that because if we didn't get any of those proposals, we knew we had another place to go. We knew the Community Loan Fund could bring investors to the table. But we did get a bid. We did get several bids. And Revision Energy, in conjunction with Revision Solar Impact Partners, was the winning bid. They've given their impact investors an opportunity to invest in this community and finance a project that aligns with their values. The impact partner was willing to leave the environmental attributes with the community, and they were willing to take a lower return, thereby leaving more of the economic benefit to the community. And so we thank them for that, and we thank Revision Energy itself, who's been a wonderful solar developer to work with. They've done an amazing job building this array in a super short period of time, so thank you, Bobby and Megan. Ultimately, we've leveraged the federal tax credit with the impact investors, which makes the state grant funds go farther. We've empowered the community to invest in themselves, for the ROC Cooperative to be the host, and for the net metering credits to go to them, to purchase the power from the impact investor for 5 years, but then to become owners themselves and get even further benefits from that. So what else makes this project so special? Community participation. There are 48 homes here in the park, and 45 of them have signed up for this program. 45 families have committed to energy education and energy efficiency measures. 45 families will receive a monthly lot rent reduction, reflecting the revenue received by the cooperative from the net metering arrangement with Liberty Utilities. 45 families will have a greener footprint. What else makes this project so special? Community participation. From the willingness of the entire Mascoma community, the community came together in this church and voted as a community to purchase this piece of property at fair market value. And after they made that vote to invest in themselves, the church stood up, the past Bruce Jerome, the pastor then, stood up on behalf of the church trustees and said, because you were willing to invest in yourselves, we are going to donate this land. And as Calvin said, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. What makes this project so special? Community participation. From the pro bono work of Eli Emerson, who spent many hours and came to evening and working meetings, weekend meetings, to others at Primer Piper Law Firm, to the cooperation of Liberty Utilities and Pathways Engineering, you all helped make this project happen. The town of Lebanon, who supported this project, from the Lebanon Energy Committee to the various permitting boards that we had to go through, including zoning and planning and conservation. And a special thanks to Tim Corwin, who's the Lebanon Senior Planner in Zoning Administration. He really took the time to work with us, to make it happen, and to work with the students. But I think that most of the people here today would agree that this project wouldn't have happened without Vermont Law School. And I want to thank Kevin Jones for his leadership on this project, for Staff Attorney Jeannie Oliver for her support in leading some of the clinic. Over 4 semesters of VLS Energy Clinic students have had the opportunity to work on and learn from this project. And we will be carrying this model forward to new ROCs, some of which are here today. I thank them, all of them, for their time and dedication to help making the project happen. It's been my privilege to lead these teams as we've drafted and issued requests for information, requests for proposal, sample power purchase agreements, lease agreements, property exchanges, negotiations with the developers, with the investors, conducted the permitting, designed and drafted a group net metering agreement specifically for residential-owned communities that incorporates energy efficiency. And maybe most importantly, for this project, we submitted a successful bid to the Public Utility Commission for a grant funding. The Energy Clinic will continue to produce templates and guides for the community members, for the ROC boards, for the ROC New Hampshire staff, and for our own future clinicians. And we will perpetuate this model and help bring it to more of the 124 ROCs that exist throughout New Hampshire. Lastly, this project wouldn't have happened without funding from the New Hampshire Public Utility Commission and the Renewable Energy Fund and its staff. The PUC staff held many working groups on low-income solar pilots. They listened, they responded, and they crafted an RFP that was fair. It was a little short on tight time frames, but it was fair. This project, therefore, received a $168,000 grant. And the staff continues to work hard to make sure this new model works so that it can serve as a basis for projects to come. And this year, there's over $1 million, double what was available last year in this fund. So our clinic team has been working hard to make presentations throughout New Hampshire at different ROCs to find the next communities to reap the environmental and economic benefits that thus far have been largely relegated to the well-off. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Karen Crampton. She's the Director of the Sustainable Energy Division of the New Hampshire Public Utilities Commission.
Thank you all for inviting us here today and allowing us to be part of this really exciting event. Krista gave you a lot of the history, so I won't repeat it, but I will go into a little more detail about how we got here from a PUC perspective and why you guys were chosen and just how excited we are to see this actually go live and start to allow people to reap some of the benefits. So as Krista mentioned, this all really started back at the legislature with Senate Bill 129, which again requires that at least 15% of the Renewable Energy Fund be allocated to low, moderate income community solar projects on an annual basis. So this will continue, which is a great thing. This was our first year this project or this funding, and we really didn't know what to do with it. We looked around the country for best models, things that we could replicate and reuse here and customize for New Hampshire, and there wasn't a lot available. So we held working group sessions and stakeholder sessions, of which Krista was very much a part of, along with Revision Energy was a part of it, Eli Emerson, a lot of the names you've heard here today. Cliff, you were probably part of it as well. Bringing together ideas on ways we could make solar more accessible to this community here in New Hampshire. So after those several working group sessions, we determined there really wasn't a model that just like stood out. So we issued this request for proposal, and we asked people to bring their best ideas to us. And it was a competitive process. We actually had 5 different proposals. We were only able to award grant funding to 3 of them, and congratulations, you were one of the 3. And you know, the reasons for that were, number one, the amount of the benefit that goes back to the community. That was really important. It was important to the legislature, and it's important to us. So that direct benefit in the lot reduction was key. The community involvement and the education, again, was a tremendous benefit and something that was very important to the grant and high on the scoring. So all great things, and it's so nice to come here and see it, and to see the community come together to a ribbon cutting in the lovely, somewhat cool weather we have, but I'm sure the solar is still producing. It does produce this kind of light. So anyway, so this was our first project. As Krista said, it was on a very, very tight time frame. We received the funding in July, and just 15 months later, you're here with a live project that's operational. So because of the stakeholder process taking some time, we did have to put a very short timeline on that proposal turnaround. Then the staff at the commission worked very hard to review the proposals, score them, get the contracts to Governor and Council, and Governor and Council did a great job of getting those contracts approved so that we could move forward with the projects. Just so you all know, those projects were approved by Governor and Council at the end of June. So that was just 4 months ago. So in 4 months, you've come together with an installer, you've developed a 100 kW system, and you've got it interconnected. It is record speed, to say the least. So, you know, my hat's off to all of you for the hard work and dedication that you've put into this to really bring it to fruition so quickly. So now what we're doing is we'll be looking at these projects over the next several years. There's reporting requirements so that we can see how this model is working, what kind of benefits are being delivered. Just so you all know, the other winners, to give you a little bit of information at the other types of projects we're looking at, is we do have one multifamily housing development that is doing rooftop solar. And then we have a subscription model, which is again a ground-mounted solar like you folks have, but where the people will be members and similar to you learning about energy efficiency and renewable energy and carrying that message forward and getting new subscribers into the model. So we'll be looking at all 3 of those, trying to figure out what works well, what doesn't work well, and how we can continue this program to again get the maximum benefits out of those grant and state dollars as we can. So with that, I guess I'll just say again, congratulations. We look forward to seeing how this all moves forward. And again, it's wonderful to be a part of it. And congratulations for making it happen so quickly.
And as you've heard, Revision Energy has been a huge player in this. And I'd like to recognize Jack Ruderman to say a few things on behalf of Revision.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, everybody. I'm Jack Ruderman. I'm the Director for Community Solar Initiatives at Revision Energy, and with me today is Bobby O'Brien, who is the crew chief. He's the guy who got this project built in record time with the help from a lot of other installers on our crew. I'm really thrilled to be here today to help celebrate this groundbreaking project that's going to reduce energy costs for the residents of Mascoma Meadows, and it also is going to reduce carbon emissions that contribute to climate change. Revision Energy designed and installed the solar array. As you've heard, there are 384 panels. The capacity is 132 kilowatts, and the output is over 170,000 kilowatt hours per year. We also provided financing so that there were no upfront costs to the residents of Mascoma Meadows. But this project would not have been possible without the grant that you just heard about from Karen Crampton from the Public Utilities Commission, which was awarded through a competitive grant process. So that is a brand new program, and I know that Karen and her staff put a ton of work into getting that up and off the ground and running smoothly. So we're all indebted to the PUC for taking that legislative mandate and running with it. This array is going to offset roughly 185,000 pounds of carbon pollution each year. That's equivalent to the pollution created by driving a car 23 times around the perimeter of the U.S., or 100,000 pounds of coal, as Krista had said. Just a couple words about Revision Energy. We're a local company, employee-owned company, dedicated to the mission of accelerating the transition to clean energy across New England. We are proud of this partnership to expand community access to solar energy. This project enables residents to live more affordably and lowers their carbon footprint. It's a win for the environment and for their pocketbooks. Not to mention the fact that this project serves as a model for future community solar projects for other resident-owned communities. Thank you all for being here today, and congratulations to all who made this project possible. Krista Shute and her law students at Vermont Law School, Tara Reardon and her team at the Community Loan Fund, the Public Utilities Commission, the Abundant Life Church, and most importantly, the residents of Mascoma Meadows. Thank you and congratulations.
Next, I'd like to introduce State Senator Martha Hennessy.
Thank you. It's thrilling to be here. I'm so excited about what's happening here today and the many people who were involved in making it happen. The New Hampshire Senate played a bit of a role as well, as you heard, with the Senate bill, and Dan Feltus was very involved and cared a great deal, but could not be here today. For those of you who don't know, he's now the father of 2 children, and on next Wednesday or Thursday he will be the majority leader, so we're happy about that as well. Yes. So this is a resolution from the New Hampshire Senate. Be it known that the New Hampshire Senate extends its congratulations to Mascoma Meadows in recognition of the ribbon cutting of the Mascoma Meadows Community Solar Array, as well as for the community's commitment to clean energy and environmental sustainability, opening up access to solar savings for low to middle income Granite Staters, and for being a great example for other Granite State communities. And be it further known that the New Hampshire Senate extends its very best wishes to the Mascoma Meadows community for continued and ongoing success. Signed by me and by Dan Feltus.
And representing U.S. Senator Hassan's office, Carrie Holmes.
Hello. Senator Hassan couldn't be here today, but I have a message to read on her behalf. Dear friends, I regret that I cannot be with you for today's ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Mascoma Meadows Community Solar Array. But I thank the residents of Mascoma Meadows, the Vermont Law School, Revision Energy, the New Hampshire Public Utilities Commission, and the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund for investing in clean energy projects like this one. Solar power is one of several clean energy resources that will help New Hampshire build a more diverse, more reliable, and more affordable energy supply. Across our state, solar is helping communities and businesses lower their energy bills and increase their energy independence. The Mascoma Meadows Solar Array will decrease costs for residents and free up critical resources for other important projects. By switching to a renewable energy system, Mascoma Meadows is also playing an important role in our collective efforts to reduce harmful fossil fuel emissions and combat climate change. Once again, thank you to everyone here today for helping to make this project a reality, and for your efforts to support our growing clean energy economy, decrease our reliance on fossil fuels, and keep our energy dollars here in New Hampshire. I look forward to continuing to work with all of you to support clean renewable energy projects in New Hampshire and to build a more innovative, more affordable energy future. With every good wish, Margaret Wood Hassan, United States Senator.
And from U.S. Senator Jean Shaheen's office, Peter Clark.
Senator Shaheen is in Washington this afternoon, but she asked that I read this letter on her behalf. Dear friends, thank you for your invitation to attend today's ribbon cutting at Mascoma Meadows. I wish I could be there in person to honor this success and to congratulate those who have worked so hard to make this event possible. It is no secret that our country's success is contingent upon all of our residents having a place to call home, and we must make every effort to extend the promise of a safe, accessible housing to all Americans. In doing so, we keep our rural communities strong and sustain their contributions to American life. Cutting energy costs in resident-owned communities like Mascoma Meadows is one way to make housing more affordable, and the solar array we celebrate today will make it a little easier for families to comfortably plant their roots here in the Upper Valley. With these improvements, Mascoma Meadows will be better positioned to provide to its residents the peace of mind that accompanies stable housing. Solar energy represents a critical component of America's energy future. This investment not only saves funds for Mascoma residents, but also encourages other businesses, nonprofits, and resident-owned communities across New Hampshire to learn the many benefits of sustainability. Thank you to Revision Energy, ROC New Hampshire, and the Vermont Law School for your efforts to make these benefits more accessible to community-driven groups. Congratulations again on the dedication of this solar array, and best wishes in all of your future endeavors. Sincerely, Jean Shaheen, United States Senator.
And from Congresswoman Annie Custer's office, Tom Giancola.
Thank you.
Welcome, Tom.
Hi everyone, my name is Tom Giancola from Congresswoman Custer's office. The Congresswoman's in Washington today. However, she has written a letter which reads as follows. Dear friends, thank you for the invitation to join you to celebrate the ribbon cutting of the Mascoma Meadows Community Solar Array. While I'm unable to be with you today, please know that my thoughts are with you as you gather to recognize the incredible work being done to complete this installation of this project. The Mascoma Meadows Community Solar Array is the first of its kind at a manufactured home community in New Hampshire and represents an important milestone for communities across the Granite State. I would like to recognize all the members of the Mascoma Meadows community, the Abundant Life Church, ROC-NH, the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund, the Vermont Law School Energy Clinic, and Revision Energy for their work in making this project a reality. I commend the work you have all done to help achieve a renewable energy future, and I look forward to continuing to support these efforts in Congress. On behalf of my constituents across New Hampshire's 2nd Congressional District, thank you for all of the work that you have done and will continue to do to make our state such a wonderful place to live, work, and raise a family. Sincerely, Ann McLean Custer.
Yeah.
Yep,
Are we ready?
Ready? Go!
Okay.
Congratulations.
You get the ribbon.
Oh, we did it.
Go to the church.